Come with me as I take you along on my day. Today I will be sharing some homemaking scenes and what a day in my life looks like. In this video, I will be working on a few small projects around the house, sharing some of my adorable recently thrifted finds, decorating my home for Valentine's Day, sharing with you how I make homemade foaming soap, and more. As I take you along on my day, I would like to talk about dealing with discouragement in homemaking and mothering, and I hope you will leave my channel feeling uplifted and encouraged. This past week at the thrift store, I found some of the most beautiful pieces, these two picture frames, this wonderful desk that was perfect just for what I needed. I'll tell you about it more later. But first I want to talk about this apron that I found on Amazon. I'll include a link down below in the description, but it's such a beautiful apron. I love the fabric and the design, and that it's front and back sided, and the little ribbons on the side. It's just a really beautiful apron, and it really made me think of spring. So I decided to buy it because I am so ready for spring. As soon as Christmas and New Year's are over, I'm over winter. I know it's too early, so the best I could do is get ready for Valentine's Day. So I'm really looking forward to that. Recently, I was given a sewing machine by a dear friend who lives in Poland. She gifted me this sewing machine before she left, and I'm so excited to get into it. I have never used a sewing machine in my entire life. And that is actually why I was on the hunt at the thrift stores for a desk and ended up finding the perfect desk, exactly what I was looking for. I'm really excited to get into sewing and take this year to just figure it out and get, at least some basic skills. I'm not saying good, but if I could at least learn some basic skills, it would be just a dream for me to make dresses for my girls, maybe some shirts for the boys, and to make a dress for myself. That's always been a dream. And a lot of times it's hard to find a dress that matches your body type or fits perfectly on you exactly. So that's one big reason why I want to learn how to sew, is just to make dresses perfectly tailored for my daughters and for myself. Not to mention that it's just a really great skill to have. Imagine creating with your own hands, say curtains for your dining room or for your bedroom, making an apron. I would really enjoy seeing that, making something, creating something with my own hands. I'm still really new to thrifting. I just started around last fall, and I can't believe I've never thrifted before. I keep finding the cutest pieces, and it's all so affordable. I've actually found that I kind of enjoy thrifted things more than new things, because older things just tend to have more character and charm to them. Within the last 4 years, I've really been getting into healthier and less toxic products. And one of the things I switched out in my home was foaming hand soap. I no longer buy those scented foaming hand soaps, especially after one of my sisters shared with me how easy and simple it is to make your own homemade foaming soap. It's simply Castile soap with water, and if you use just plain scentless Castile soap like I normally do, you could just add a couple drops of lavender oil or peppermint oil, essential oil. My soap that I'm using today is peppermint, but normally I do get just a plain without scent Castile soap on Amazon, and I'll have that linked below. So let's talk about dealing with discouragement in homemaking or mothering. It happens to the best of us, and it happens at random times, and absolutely every one of us experiences it now and then. It's totally normal to feel that way. I think the most common reasons for getting discouraged in homemaking is unrealistic expectations, setbacks, and feeling overwhelmed. Or just the opposite of that, sometimes feeling like you're not doing enough. All of these things could be really discouraging as a homemaker, and knowing what to do in these moments when you're feeling like this will make a world of a difference when you're dealing with that. When you get discouraged because of unrealistic expectations, it's so easy to just snap and get disappointed or frustrated or upset. You're pretty much setting yourself up for failure when you're setting up unrealistic expectations. An example of this would be, say we're going out as a family to the apple orchard, for example, and I have these expectations in my head that everyone's going to be on their best behavior, things are going to go so smoothly, so amazing, everyone is going to be enthusiastic and happy. And when I am going with this mindset, imagine how quickly I'm going to snap or get super frustrated when somebody gets hungry and starts whining, or somebody says, I'm tired, my legs are hurting, one of the kids. Then if I'm already coming with these kind of expectations, I'm going to get disappointed really quickly. A great way to avoid this would be to go with a joyful heart, excitement, enthusiasm, but be expecting kids to be kids. They will whine, they'll get tired, they'll get cranky, they'll get hungry. But because you had that in mind and expected that, you're not going to be as disappointed and frustrated when it happens because you were already preparing yourself for that. Yes, we'll have a great time. Yes, I'm going to be as enthusiastic and positive as I can be, but I know this will eventually happen because kids are kids. A homemaking example of this would be making all these grand plans in your head, thinking, tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do all these things and every piece of laundry will be folded and I'll have sourdough breads baked and desserts baked and 3 meals all cooked, and then end up getting really disappointed and frustrated when something comes up in the day that you were not able to accomplish all of that. That's not to say that setting goals and putting up a schedule for your day is not a good thing. It's a very good thing, but I think it's great to allow ourselves some wiggle room in our schedule, times where we know that the kids are going to need something, for us to be able to just pause all our work in the day, just tune in, be with our kids, and just have a mindset to be okay with it if things don't go as planned. Another common reason for discouragement in homemaking is feeling overwhelmed and maybe overstimulated. And I do think this does really tie in with creating realistic expectations. Oftentimes you can get overwhelmed if you just put too much on your plate. Maybe you put too many plans into your schedule, and this is really where prioritizing certain things on certain days and creating schedules really matters. Like, for example, for me, I have to have a separate day for laundry and a separate day for sourdough and a separate day for cleaning. A lot of times the fact is that you can get it all done. You just need to set up a smart and healthy routine in your home. I remember there was a time when we just had our first 2 kids, and I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I can't get anything done. How do people have gardens and do other things? No, I can't even think about that. But as time went on and we worked out a routine, created a schedule, I found out that it is possible to do all these things. It's possible to cook meals from scratch and have your laundry all done and have sourdough bread, have a clean home. It just matters about how you set up your schedule and your routine and how you get everyone in the family involved. Your husband, your kids, everyone should have a role and a job to help things work smoothly together. Something that we can forget as homemakers is that it's not all on our shoulders. Part of being a wise and smart homemaker is having everyone do their own part. A lot of homemaking is simply managing, overseeing everything that happens in the home. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do those things with your own hands. The kids should be involved. The whole family should be involved. And everyone should have their own certain job that they do in the home. And this brings me to the last point that I wanted to discuss today. What about if you're feeling like you're not doing enough? Well, sometimes I have felt this way, and sometimes it was, 1, I actually was doing enough. I just wasn't feeling like I was doing enough. Or 2, I really wasn't doing enough. And this is where growth happened, where I challenged myself. I said, okay, you can take on new, bigger things. So this is where I started learning how to make bread, or cooking more meals from scratch. When you feel like this, don't let it discourage you or beat you down. This is a moment where you can challenge yourself, and this could be a real learning and growing moment. So how do you discern the two? Are you just feeling like you're not doing enough, but you actually are? Or are you truly at a point where you could do more good with your hands for your household, for your family? Well, this is the time where I ask myself the question, biblically, am I doing enough? The Bible calls women, wives, mothers to care for their homes, to love on their families, to create peaceful, loving environments. If I'm doing all those things, pouring love and care into my home, being a good steward of all that I've been given, working diligently and lovingly, and doing my absolute best, then I can be sure that yes, I am doing enough. I'm doing this for God's glory. I'm doing this because I love my family, because I am doing what I am called to do biblically. And then I can assure myself that what I'm doing is enough. But if I'm at a point where I reevaluate everything that I do on a daily basis, and I think that no, I could be doing more. I want to be doing more. I want to challenge myself. I want to grow. I want to do more. I want to start baking bread for my family, or have some backyard chickens, or whatever it is that certain goals you may have. There will be a time in your life where you know that you're ready to take on more comfortably. Something that really keeps me going and helps me to do my best every day is remembering that this is not forever. Our kids will not be little for very long, and I know this too well. I have a 13-year-old daughter already, and looking at our little 2-year-old, I know every day of my life that this is not going to last forever. The good times and the bad times, they're not going to last forever. So this helps me to endure the rough times and really soak in the good times. So this helps me to be more diligent in my homemaking and my mothering, just remembering that God gave these precious souls to me only for a little time before they go out on their own path that the Lord has for them. And another great thing that helps me is the perspective that I get to do this, not I have to. And that really helps me to value and cherish this season in my life where I get to just be a homemaker, a homeschool mother.
Can I have my smaller cup?
It's in the dishwasher.
Okay.
I also recently heard a really great saying where he said, if you want to live a miserable life, make it all about you. Your marriage, your kids, your home, your life, everything is about you. But if you want to do well and live a really happy life, then decide that none of it is about you. And this could be applied to homemaking so well, because a lot of times you won't see the appreciation or the words, or a lot of times your family just appreciates what you do, but they maybe forget to say it or forget to express it. And if you make it all about you, then of course you're going to get upset and offended. But if you make it all about them, all about God, then you won't be so easily discouraged or offended easily, and you will do your work diligently and lovingly and full of care. And even if your family forgets to thank you, God sees you and He will reward you in due time. Thank you so much for following along as I shared my day with you, and I hope you will leave feeling inspired or encouraged or motivated.